Hello everyone and welcome to another Warhammer 3 online battle. This is going to be a land battle. I am playing as the Tomb Kings, being led by Ark in the Black, facing off against the Empire, who is being led by the Arch-Lector. I've got a huge line of Nekhara horsemen over here. Pretty good unit. I think the spear variant is a little better, but I was testing out to see, what can I do with these guys? Just got a huge amount of skeletons. Skeletons everywhere. Ushapti, Great Bows, Chosen of the Gods, and a couple Tomb Princes who have almost no kit whatsoever, mostly just there to, kill big stuff. And also some carrion. Yeah, a little far away. Maybe a little too far. My opponent has this pretty nice little goon squad here of the Arch-Lector, his buddy the Jade Wizard, and his other friend from school, the Warrior Priest, ready to deliver a ton of bombardments and shielding and just other irritating AoE mampy-pampy bullshit buffs on all of his units. And then he just has what is this, two units of Knights of the Blazing Sun and one Royal Altdorf Gryphites, and then a lot of Flagellants. In the back, he's got the Sigmar Suns and Greatswords, actually. Pretty cool unit. Don't see Greatswords too often, but if anything's going to kill skeletons, it's definitely Greatswords. Maybe at a little too high a premium cost, but so both armies just sort of jockeying for position. I feel like, okay, his lords are out here. Let's jump in on them after Spirit Leeching, and I figure, hey, you know what? He'll click all of his buttons, so I'm going to just run away. And indeed, that's exactly what happens. He uses, all of his buffs, so I decide, hey, that's great. Now that we dodged the attacks, let's start fighting. Unfortunately, he runs right over my spearmen and gets directly onto the Chosen of the Gods, which are maybe my most important tool that I can't allow to get chopped to pieces, while these summoned skeleton warriors, which are being hit with the leader Bubonicus, are being charged by the Knights of the Blazing Sun, which do fire damage, and unfortunately skeletons are weak to fire. Or at least I thought they were. I guess these skeleton warriors, they don't care. They don't seem to have the fire resistance. A nice Dwellers from below, killing a lot of my skeletons on top of my army, and we're Spirit Leeching the Arch-Lector. Unfortunately, we're kind of playing right into my opponent's hands. We got some carrion over here, and looks like a Tomb Prince fighting Flagellants. Not sure how I mismicroed the guy over there, but we're sort of playing right into his hands of having this big dumb blob, and he's just going to be able to keep healing his units up with Earthblood and his Warrior Priest, giving all these defensive buffs, and the Knights of the Blazing Sun are having just a very swell time stabbing these skeletons with their flaming lances. It's really a perfect situation for them, and this massive damage resistance buff hitting all these troops. It is a pretty good amount of healing, but I have way too many skeletons that are just sort of bogging down on top of these Royal Altdorf Gryphites, who are barely being hurt at all. Skeleton warriors are not good against them. The spear variant would be fine, but I really should pull the spearmen away. However, I do see a pretty good opportunity to use these Ushapti and jump directly behind these Knights of the Blazing Sun and get kind of a nice little counter-strike. But Ushapti aren't, they're not really the best at killing infantry, so that was, rather, they are the best at killing infantry. They're not great at killing cavalry. The Chosen of the Gods did escape, although they are really injured, lost 5 models. I'm just slamming into the cavalry over here. We are able to kill these Knights of the Blazing Sun, which is good. However, my horsemen over here just kind of died on these infantry, which are all still basically full HP. What are these Chosen shooting? Oh yeah, some Outriders with Grenadiers, with Grenade Launchers who did, basically nothing. They just rout off the battlefield. Another aerial bombardment on top of my skeletons. My skeletons, they're just in too big a mass currently. Most of the skeletons are not fighting. They're just sort of watching, looking around. It would be good if I had a skeleton unit over here protecting the Ushapti from the Royal Altdorf Gryphites, who are going to absolutely dumpster the Chosen of the Gods in battle. Yeah, without a doubt, the Chosen of the Gods very, very quickly going to be cut to pieces by the big halberds, the Demigryph Knights with their, halberds. So yeah, that's not a good fight for me. And otherwise, we're just kind of blobbing. You know, Archeon the Blacks, he's having fun. He's using his little staff of a much more powerful and interesting character. But, you know, he's doing his best that he can. And, you know, yeah, good Liber Mortis proc there, giving us a lot of physical resistance and a lot of leadership, actually keeping some of my skeletons just over the threshold of crumbling. And we pulled the balance of power back. We were actually much further behind at this point, but the Ushabti were able to get some pretty good shots, and we killed the Knights of the Blazing Sun off completely. At least I think they're dead. Maybe they're like, oh yeah, there's still some stragglers over here. And the Knights of the Blazing Sun actually desperately trying to hunt down these Ushabti. I think got, yeah, these guys were also like charging directly ahead. But attempt number 2 from the Empire player, running these Knights of the Blazing Sun. They get smashed and immediately routed and shattered by the Ushabti. So that's actually pretty good. And the balance of power with those 2 killed, right back in the dead center. We've got our Tomb Princes kind of on top of the Warrior Priest. No, on top of the Archlector, but that's fine. But a nice Dwellers from Below and a bombardment just completely kills all these skeletons. They're all dead. All these beautiful skeletons cut to pieces, and the balance of power, again, massively swings in my opponent's favor. Now, the Tomb Princes probably could beat any one of these characters in a one-on-one battle, but with all their buffs on, it's not a good matchup. And the Archlector, I'm trying to kill him. I'm trying to Spirit Leech him. I'm trying to take him out, but he just keeps getting healed by the Jade Wizard. And my own skeletons are kind of getting in the way, and the Tomb Princes aren't targeting the right enemy. I'm not using them properly, and he still has all of these infantry. Archeon the Black, who probably could be doing more, is kind of, yeah, it's just getting caught up in these flagellants, not attacking. He should be attacking, but I don't have any more skeletons, and the Royal Altdorf Griffites are still alive, and they're taking out these Ushabti, and unfortunately, I don't really have anything left. With these Tomb Guard being taken out by the Warrior Priest, I'm not able to defeat the Archlector, and he just keeps healing all of his units. And without the support of really any infantry, any ability I have of winning the game is quite poor. Amazingly, the Ushabti actually defeat the Royal Altdorf Griffites, even though that almost certainly should not have happened. I do still have one summon, though, so I'm able to get some skeletons out to keep Archeon the Black alive for a little bit longer, but the Flagellants and the Skeletons offer no barrier whatsoever to the Goon Squad, who are immediately able to get directly on top of Archeon the Black, even though he was unable to ever escape. And there's no way he's going to be able to defeat these 3 heroes, although they're kind of getting peeled off. Yeah, the Archlector is actually broken and running. And a lot of his infantry is sort of running after these Ushabti, who probably could just kill them if I put them into battle. But unfortunately, I just don't have enough HP on Archeon, and he's being taken to Pound Town, and I have no infantry, and I have nothing. I've crumbled to dust, unfortunately. But it was a fun game. I think I probably could have pulled it out. I like the Ushabti play at the end. The Tomb Princes did alright. They could have done better. Archeon did amazing with his Spirit Leeches on the Lord. The problem was these Nekhar Horsemen did not do anything. They just kind of died. If I had them at the end of the game there to screen or to rear charge into those infantry, could have made all the difference. And I was also blobbing way too hard with all these skeletons. If I fix those 2 mistakes, I think I could win the game. The Carrion also didn't do anything, but that's fine. They didn't really have a lot to do. Look at the power of the Jade Wizard. Dwellers Below, amazing spell. His Elite Cavalry didn't actually do that great. The initial charge was very good, but they stuck in prolonged combat for too long. But his infantry ultimately were just too powerful. They were all alive at the end, and his Goon Squad could not be defeated, although it was close. It was definitely close. I think it was winnable. Kind of just came down to a few micro mistakes on my side, losing the horses and bunching up with the infantrymen, which is, granted, kind of a colossal mistake. But that's okay. Sometimes, you know, everybody makes foolish mistakes. Thanks for watching.